Welcome back to another Escaping Fragility show. I'm your host, Colin Stucker, the Wild CEO. We're here to talk about some stuff. I got some content from Instagram we're going to cover. Let's get right into it. Metabolic Mike, one of my favorite Instagrammers. I love seeing all the Karens that come into his comments. It's awesome. When the CDC says your cloth mask slows the spread of COVID-19 but doesn't catch small particles found in wildfire smoke that harm your health. You can actually probably see small particles of wildfire smoke, but you can't see COVID. So which is smaller? Yeah. Next piece of content. Dr. Ben Taper. When we give government the power to make medical decisions for us, we, in essence, accept that the state owns our bodies. Ron Paul. This idea of vaccines and all these other things. I mean, even just like saying the word vaccine could potentially get you censored on YouTube. Can you guys see the absurdity that's going on in our world? I mean, just vaccines in general, before any of the COVID stuff, was a very hotly debated topic because the masses believe that they're good, that everyone needs them, etc. Even though that's not accurate. I don't even want to get into it because I only have a elementary understanding, but my understanding is there's thousands and thousands of research studies and they're cherry picked. You can't sue vaccine manufacturers because the government protects them. People get paid out when they do get damaged. There's a fund, it's basically hush money, and I'm pretty sure millions have been paid out. But it's like, would you rather have $1 million or would you rather have your child to not be destroyed? I can't fathom it. And I really empathize for those people. And I really don't empathize for people that try to criticize people that are anti-vax or don't vaccinate or whatever it is, because you're being ignorant, closed-minded, myopic, and very quite likely wrong in your assessment. Now, you see a lot of this. People will vaccinate their kids, and then so forever they are pro-vaccine. They don't want to admit that they give their children something that might hurt them. I suspect in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, maybe 100, whatever it takes, we're going to look back on 2020 and our elementary understanding of these archaic caveman-style vaccines, and whatever new technology comes out since then, they're going to laugh at us and be like, those dumb humans of 2020. And I think about this about a lot of things, actually. Science, nutrition, health, 50% obesity rate in America, 1 in 3 children are obese. Like, we're going to look like such morons to future generations. Literally such morons. And the things that are going to be held up the most, that are going to be laughed at the most, are going to be the things that the masses readily accept and perpetuate. So if you find yourself on any mass understood, accepted side, it might be time to pause and reflect, as Mark Twain said. Whenever I find myself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. And that was in the early 1900s when he said that. It's so true even today. I've actually found a startling heuristic, which is very surprising. The more people believe something to be true, the less likely it is to be right. Now, that sounds like it shouldn't add up, but I've seen a lot of examples of this. This doesn't apply to everything, of course. Like, obviously 1 + 1 = 2. Most people agree, and, we can prove it mathematically. But there are a lot of things where the data is shaky or manipulated, or there's agenda at play, where the masses are almost always wrong in what they believe. And I don't know why this is. I don't know why we get it wrong so often. I don't honestly know why. Perhaps just an evolution of ideas and the fact that, 1900s we believe this, 1800s we believe this. Doctors used to use leeches and they would bloodlet you and crap like that. And then eventually they realized that was stupid. And then they evolved and now they don't do it anymore. Right? It's like, what are those ideas in 2020 that we think are so obvious or so right or so figured out that are freaking backwards? Only time will tell. Next post. Censorship on IG is out of control by Sayer GMI. If masks work, then let family back into hospitals to be with their loved ones. If they don't work, then get them off our children. Someone is lying. So this is an if-then question that was labeled as false by fact checkers. Oh, thank you, fact checkers. Oh, you're so smart. It's funny because it's an either or. It's not making claims. I mean, it does say someone is lying, but I guess based on it, someone is lying. It's crazy. The algorithms, the fact checker, these people, like actual people that are fact checking. I mean, what's their source for fact checking? They go to Google, which is a manipulated and censored platform itself. Do they go to PubMed? Like, do they find a few studies? What about the thousands of other studies that say the other way? There's almost always studies on both ends of the spectrum. Do they dig into the study to find out like what's legitimate, what's not? I've actually seen a lot of these fact checkers saying things like nobody believes and like, people, it's well understood and things like that. But like, by who and what? Who says? The censorship is insane. I'm seeing it left and right. People are getting banned. They're getting videos removed. You're getting posts that don't show up saying fact checkers say it's false. I've even had it happen to me. It's very crazy what's going on right now. I honestly hope all the current tech companies blow up. I hope they die. I hope we create some kind of decentralized platform in its wake, something that's better, that's new, that's not censored. And we need to let freedom of speech, which is built into the American Constitution, and therefore American companies should be held up to that standard, which is very strange. They're not, but we need that to return. The marketplace should decide. That's what capitalism is based on. That's why it works. Because if you suck, if your product sucks, it's not going to last. If you cheat people, you're not going to last. If you deliver a good product or service, people like it, you'll make money and you'll last. If it's a good idea, if people find benefit in it, if they vet it and think it's reasonable, the idea will spread. It will last. If it's not, it will die. The flame will be starved. So this idea that some tech company and some underlings that work for them and, 12 hours a day in front of a screen, like clicking yes or no, fact check or not fact check, the idea that they know more or know best is completely and utterly redonkulous. We say that in poker a lot. Redonkulous. It's insane. It's literally insane. And what's more insane and more sad is people are falling for it. People watch the mainstream news. They watch these big athletes and celebrities and people that don't know anything but love to give out their political opinions. And they don't see this information at times. Like, it is removed or it is suppressed or it is shadow banned or whatever. And so they go on believing this narrative, this status quo, with no idea of whether it's right or not, no counterfactuals or counter even ideas to challenge it. And what do you think happens as a result of a homogenous way of thinking and a homogenous culture? What do you think you get from that? You get Nazi Germany. You get Mao's China. You get Soviet Union. You get Mussolini's Italy. You get Venezuela. You get Cuba. You don't want homogenous ideas. You don't want everybody thinking the same thing. That's how a society crumbles. That makes you fragile. The entire Constitution of the US government was built on trying to prevent this because they saw what could happen when you had tyrannical ruler at top that could just do whatever he wanted. And they fought against that. And they wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all these things to protect against that. And that's why freedom of speech is one of the most important things. As George Washington said, if censorship goes, we will be led like lambs to the slaughter. We all will be led, I believe he said. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Scary stuff, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see. Let's find something else. By Dr. Tommy John. You are not sick. Your symptoms are messages. Your body's speaking to you. Feel it, listen to it, make the changes it's asking for. Thank it daily. Let's see. He's got some other good stuff. Oh my God, this just drives me this makes me so mad. We are never sending our children to public school. We are doing everything we can to prevent the government from having any say in our lives or our children's lives. Now, this just drives me up the wall. There's been these like propaganda campaigns and I guess teachers and probably content that they're trying to teach children how to lie to their parents so that they can get vaccinated without their parents' consent. Now, do you know who else did this? Nazi Germany. They had the Nazi youth, where there were youth that were being brainwashed and then spying on their parents. And then how many kids probably had their parents executed, sent to some death camp or whatever because of this? I can't think of a more dangerous future for our country. And it's like, it so disturbs me. Like, it's like I want to even just ignore this content, but then part of me wants to share it with people so they can see what's going on. This is really crazy stuff. So here we go. Alizek. The bond between a parent and a child is sacred, and it's a parent's job to keep the children safe and healthy. Now we have vaccine propaganda from mainstream media teaching kids how to lie to their parents in order to get vaccinated without their consent. And there's a post here, how to get vaccinated without parental consent. It's just unbelievable. These people that are involved in these things, they deserve a reckoning. This is just disgusting. Petition the court to be emancipated if your parents are really bad. If they're really bad. Wait until you're 18. I mean, God, it's unbelievable. This is actually one of the bullet points. Get vaccinated in secret if local laws allow it. And then it says, run the risk of your family finding out. This should be illegal. Like this type of crap, to me, this is inciting violence. That's the one thing that you're not allowed to do with freedom of speech. You're not allowed to call violence upon people. And this should be illegal because that's what I feel this is. They're using propaganda to appeal to a young mind that is impressionable, that doesn't know any better, that is easily influenced, that easily already in our current culture always sees parents as the bad guy because they restrict things and whatever. I just can't, man. I can't. That's all I can do today before I vomit. Let me know what you think about any of these below. Comments are always welcome. Like the video, please. Subscribe, please, get more like this and other content that's going to help you be aware, be better, build your plan B, and just think and be a better human. And that's what we all need to do because, man, 2020, at least in America, I know it's happening a lot of other places too, but 2020 is a scary place. And I have two young sons that I can hope we get through this. I really do.